Hello everyone, I hope you're having a fantastic day. Welcome back to Undoing. It is so very easy to feel trapped. Responsibility and normalcy are sticky pits of tar that cling to your shoes and sink you deeper into their muck. And when you feel that tar climbing up your ankles and knees, it is easier still to let yourself sink in, because most of us don't know how to get out. Now, if you do a quick Google search, every rich health guru will tell you to quit your job, travel, and purchase some essential oils. And if that works for you, be my guest, go for it. But if you're someone like me, I look up to the Beatniks. Though I do feel a bit underdressed for the occasion. One moment. Now, if you don't know who the Beatniks are, you've come to the right place. They were a society of poets set on breaking every boundary put before them. If the government discouraged it, they were set and ready to participate. And the details of this drug usage, homosexuality, crime, and filthy living were all detailed precisely in their poems. Dad, if you're watching this, I'm not talking about following the drugs and crime bits. Cool? Yeah, back to it. The writing and the plight of the Beatniks came to be because of the oppressive, conformist society that was implemented in the post-World War II era. The birthplace of the cookie-cutter perfect American household. It was a rebellion. The government insisted on conformity. Rich, white, good-hearted American men, that was what they saw fit for a nation harrowed by war. In the foundational writings of the Beat generation, there were laments of the destruction suffered to the creative minds of the era. The Beatniks were sick of this. Allen Ginsberg himself, a founding father of the Beat generation, wrote of Moloch, the god who took sacrifices of children placed in fire. To Ginsberg, Moloch was real. He was the government, war, the mainstream. As Moloch took his victims, his real-world counterparts took theirs, killing the ideas of youth and love. Allen Ginsberg, Jack Kerouac, and William Burroughs, the founders of the movement, met at Columbia University in 1948. Soon after, Jack Kerouac stated that the movement after the Second World War would be called as such, the Beat generation. The word beat, which once meant beaten down and weary, soon became a synonym for the rhythm and movement brought to life in their poems. And thus, this ideology was born. Reject American values, be a bum or a drug dealer, or even worse, a poet, and thrive within their community. Reach your truest self and don't revise your poems. It takes away from the authenticity. Wear funny clothes and fall in love with the same gender and give a big screw you to the US government. All of this going down in ratty jazz clubs in San Francisco, LA, and New York. Now, the people outside the movement thought them ill-mannered thugs, but it was because of the Beatniks that people began to question the society that they lived in and take a few steps out of it. But back to you. I'm aware telling you about some guys in the 50s who went off the rails isn't the most helpful assistance I could offer. Though, if you've come this far, I'd say there's a fair chance you have an interest in the Beatniks. So, stick with me, let's continue. Beat writing was meant to liberate poetry from the confines of academia. The style was loose and free, and like I said, it was a rebellion. They used harsh language and attempted to capture the joylessness of modern society and the alienation they felt from it. Works such as On the Road by Jack Kerouac, Naked Lunch by William Burroughs, and Howl by Allen Ginsberg, which was first performed in the Sixth Gallery in October 7th, 1955, in front of a small local audience. They paved the way for a more unorthodox style of writing, taking inspiration themselves from the Lost generation. Ernest Hemingway, F. Scott Fitzgerald, E. E. Cummings, and more. Though the Beat generation went much farther in societal impact. The Beat generation wasn't just impactful in literature, but in the political movements that came after. They were extremely anti-war, which led them to become a great inspiration for the hippie movement. Their connection to music and jazz gave advantage to some black creators such as Dizzy Gillespie and Charlie Parker. Each member of the Beat generation engaged in homosexual relations and wrote about it openly in their works, creating a conversation around sexual rights. So what I'm saying is, bold creativity has an impact, and that thought helps me when I'm feeling stuck. I'm just a kid, I can't change the world on my own, but I can make things. I read, I write, I make art, and I do things like this channel. You watching this, thank you for helping me feel less stuck. And you don't need to go about things the same way I do, but find what makes you feel less stuck. And maybe hearing about the originators of breaking the mold gave you a bit of inspiration.